Most people over 60 believe they've already got protein figured out. Eggs for breakfast, maybe a little chicken at lunch, and they assume they're doing enough to keep their muscles strong. But here's the thing, no one tells you. What if I told you there are foods out there with 5 times more protein than eggs and hardly anyone over 60 is eating them? I know, it sounds almost too good to be true. But stay with me, because if you've noticed your legs feeling weaker, your balance a little less steady, or your energy slipping away faster than before, this could be the quiet reason why. It's not just getting older. It's something much sneakier and completely preventable. The silent thief stealing your strength. Once we hit our 60s, our bodies start playing a cruel trick on us. Even if we feel relatively healthy, every single year we lose about 1–2% of our muscle mass. It's called sarcopenia, and it doesn't just affect how we look, it affects how we live. Think about it. Muscles aren't just for lifting weights or climbing mountains. They're what keep you steady on uneven ground, what help you climb stairs without gasping for air, and what let you stand up from the couch without wobbling or bracing yourself on the armrest. And when muscle starts fading, it's not just your independence at risk, it's your safety. Falls become more likely. Recovery from even small injuries takes longer. Simple activities feel exhausting. That's why protein becomes more important than ever after 60. But here's the twist. It's not just about how much protein you eat, it's about the kind you eat and how well your body can actually use it. Why eggs aren't the whole story. Don't get me wrong, eggs are a solid source of protein, about 13 grams per 100 grams to be exact. They've earned their reputation as a breakfast staple for a reason. But here's the problem. As we age, our bodies don't absorb protein as efficiently as they used to. That means even if you eat the same foods you always have, you might still be falling short of what your muscles need. Worse yet, many seniors stick to the same few protein sources day after day, eggs, maybe some chicken or fish, and miss out on a whole world of nutrient-dense options that could help them rebuild muscle instead of just slowing the loss. Some of these foods have 20, 30, even 60 grams of protein per 100 grams. And no, they're not weird powders, pricey supplements, or exotic superfoods you have to hunt down at a specialty store. These are everyday ingredients you can buy at your local supermarket, some you've probably walked right past without a second thought. Why this matters more than you think. Let's be clear, this isn't about bulking up or looking like a bodybuilder. This is about staying in control of your life. Because the truth is, your muscles are like your retirement savings. The more you invest now, the longer you can enjoy them, and the more you neglect them, the faster they disappear. And once they're gone, they're much harder to get back. Here's the part that most people miss. Protein isn't just for muscle. It helps maintain your bone density, keeps your immune system sharp, supports your heart, and even plays a role in keeping your brain healthy. That's right, what you put on your plate can directly influence how well you think, move, and feel in your 70s, 80s, and beyond. A different kind of protein list. In a few minutes, I'm going to walk you through a list of protein-rich foods that leave eggs in the dust. And I'm not just talking numbers here. Each one comes with its own bonus benefits, from fighting inflammation to protecting your bones to improving your balance. Some are creamy and comforting, perfect for an easy evening snack. Others are plant-based powerhouses loaded with extra minerals your muscles crave. And a few are so protein-dense, you'll wonder why no one's been talking about them sooner. This isn't about eating more. It's about eating smarter. If you're thinking, great, but I don't want to overhaul my entire diet, you won't have to. You don't need to eat all 10 foods every day. Even adding 1 or 2 into your weekly routine can make a noticeable difference in how you move, how you feel, and how quickly you recover from the little things, like carrying groceries, gardening, or playing with the grandkids. The key is knowing which foods give you the most muscle for your bite and how to fit them into your life without fuss, complicated recipes, or expensive ingredients. Your body can change faster than you think. Here's the good news. Muscle loss isn't inevitable. I've seen people in their 60s, 70s, even 80s turn things around in just a few months simply by adjusting what's on their plate. They didn't spend hours at the gym. They didn't buy a single supplement. They just started feeding their bodies the kind of protein that works with their age, not against it. And you can too. So, if you're ready to discover the 10 powerful protein-rich foods that can keep you steady, strong, and confident well into your later years, and why they're so much more effective than the humble egg, let's start with one you might already have in your kitchen, but probably aren't using to its full potential. It starts quietly. One day, you notice getting up from the couch takes just a little more effort. A few months later, the stairs feel steeper, and before you know it, you're planning your day around how much walking you'll have to do. That's how sarcopenia works. It doesn't slam into you overnight like a sudden injury. It's a slow, almost invisible thief that chips away at your strength, balance, and mobility.
The silent loss that adds up.
Here's the reality. After 60, most people lose about 1–2% of their muscle mass every year. That may not sound like much, but think about it this way. In 5 years, you could lose the equivalent of 1 whole arm's worth of muscle. And in 10 years, enough to make climbing stairs, lifting groceries, or even walking across the room feel like a workout. The tricky part is that your weight might stay the same. On the scale, nothing seems different. But what's really happening is that you're trading muscle for fat, even if you haven't changed your diet much. That shift makes you weaker, slower, and more prone to falls. It also affects how your body processes sugar, fights illness, and recovers from stress. Why protein matters more than ever. Tip: your muscles aren't just for show. They're the engines that keep your whole body running. They protect your joints, stabilize your posture, and give you the power to move without thinking about every step. And the fuel for those engines? Protein. The problem is, as you age, your body becomes less efficient at turning the protein you eat into muscle. It's like trying to fill a leaky bucket. You have to pour in more, and it has to be the right kind to keep things from running out. That's why eating the same breakfast you've been having for 30 years doesn't cut it anymore. You might feel like you're getting enough protein, but your body is quietly saying, nope, we need more and better quality. The egg trap. Here's where many people fall into a trap. Eggs are good, yes. They're convenient, versatile, and a familiar part of the morning routine, but they're not enough on their own. An egg gives you about 6 grams of protein. Even if you eat 2, you're still under 15 grams, and most older adults need double or triple that amount at each meal to maintain their muscle. Now, I'm not saying ditch eggs. They still have their place. But if they're your only serious protein source, you're leaving your muscles underfed day after day. The downward spiral. When muscle loss starts, everything else gets harder. Less muscle means you burn fewer calories, which means fat creeps in more easily. That extra weight puts stress on your joints, which makes moving even more uncomfortable. So you move less, which speeds up muscle loss. It's a vicious cycle, and once it gains momentum, it's tough to stop. But here's the thing, it can be stopped. In fact, it can be reversed. And you don't need to start lifting heavy weights or running marathons to do it. You just need to give your body the right kind of fuel consistently. Why the right protein sources matter. Think of your muscles like a construction site. Every day, they need building materials to repair what's worn down and to keep the structure strong. Eggs bring some bricks, but there are other foods out there that bring the bricks, the cement, the steel beams, and the skilled workers all at once. Some digest slowly, feeding your muscles overnight while you sleep. Others are packed with extra nutrients that help your body actually use the protein you eat. Some fight inflammation that slows muscle repair, and a few are so concentrated in protein you only need a small serving to make a difference. The turnaround starts in your kitchen. Here's the good news. This isn't about complicated diets or expensive supplements. You don't need to order mystery powders off the internet or cook like a gourmet chef. Most of the best protein sources for seniors are simple, everyday foods you can find at the grocery store, and they're surprisingly easy to add to what you already eat. The sooner you start, the sooner you stop that slow leak of strength. And once you do, everyday life feels lighter. You move with more confidence. You bounce back faster from physical activity, and you don't have to think twice about whether you can keep up with the grandkids or tackle a day out. Now that we understand the real threat and why protein is the key to beating it, let's dive into the first powerhouse food on the list. It's creamy, tangy, and might already be sitting in your fridge, but it's doing far more for your muscles than you realize. If there's one food that quietly punches way above its weight for muscle health after 60, it's Greek yogurt. And no, I'm not talking about the sugary fruit on the bottom cups that taste like dessert. I mean the thick, tangy, protein-packed real Greek yogurt that can help rebuild your muscles even while you sleep. More protein than an egg. With a bonus per 100 grams, plain non-fat Greek yogurt delivers about 17 grams of protein. That's already more than a boiled egg. But here's the magic. It's not just how much protein you get, it's what kind. Greek yogurt is rich in casein protein, and casein is like the slow-burning log in your muscle's fireplace. Instead of rushing through your system like some proteins do, it digests gradually, releasing amino acids steadily over several hours. Why does that matter for you? Because muscle loss doesn't just happen during the day, it also happens at night. Every hour you're asleep without enough protein in your system is an hour your body can break down muscle for fuel. But when you have Greek yogurt in the evening, you're giving your muscles a steady drip feed of nutrients all night long. Overnight support for stronger morning. Picture this. You end the night with cookies or chips. They taste good, sure, but they do nothing for your muscles. By morning, you've essentially given your body 8 hours with no muscle-building fuel. Now, swap that for a small bowl of Greek yogurt. While you sleep, your body stays supplied with amino acids, quietly repairing muscle fibers, strengthening your legs, and supporting your balance for the day ahead. You wake up not just rested, but reinforced. Why it's perfect for seniors. One of the reasons Greek yogurt works so well for older adults is that it's incredibly gentle. No heavy chewing, no greasy afterfeel, and often easier on the stomach than meats. If you've had digestive issues with certain proteins, Greek yogurt is a much friendlier option. And because it's naturally low in fat, if you choose non-fat or low-fat versions, you get all the muscle-building benefits without loading up on extra calories or cholesterol. That means you can boost your protein without worrying about adding strain to your heart or waistline. More than just protein, Greek yogurt isn't a one-trick pony. It also brings calcium for bone health, because strong muscles need strong bones to attach to. It has probiotics that support a healthy gut, which plays a surprising role in how well you absorb nutrients. A healthier gut means better absorption of all that valuable protein, vitamins and minerals you're eating. It's like upgrading from a leaky funnel to a high-quality pipeline. You keep more of what you put in. Easy ways to enjoy it. The beauty of Greek yogurt is how versatile it is. You can have it plain for a quick snack, but with just a few simple touches, you can turn it into something you actually look forward to. Evening dessert swap. Add a spoonful of natural peanut butter, a sprinkle of cinnamon, or a handful of berries. It feels indulgent, but fuels your muscles. Morning power bowl. Top it with chopped nuts, flax seeds, and fresh fruit for a filling breakfast that keeps your energy steady. Savory side. Mix with herbs, garlic, and a pinch of salt to create a creamy sauce for roasted veggies or grilled chicken. Smoothie boost. Blend into a smoothie for an extra protein punch without having to add protein powder. You can make it sweet, savory, or somewhere in between. It works every time. A simple nighttime habit that pays off. One of the easiest ways to build this into your life is to make Greek yogurt your go-to nighttime snack. Instead of chips or crackers, keep a small tub of plain Greek yogurt in your fridge. When you get that after-dinner craving, reach for it instead. In just a few weeks, you may notice mornings feel easier. Getting out of bed feels smoother, your legs feel stronger, and you might even feel more stable walking on uneven ground. It's a small change with a big ripple effect. What to watch out for? Not all yogurts are created equal. Many flavored yogurts are loaded with sugar, which cancels out a lot of the health benefits. Always check the label. Aim for one with less than 10 grams of sugar per serving, ideally less than 5. If you find plain Greek yogurt too tangy at first, mix in fresh fruit or a touch of honey instead of buying the pre-sweetened kind. Your taste buds will adjust, and soon you won't miss the extra sugar at all. From fridge to fork in 30 seconds. The best part? It takes no prep. No cooking, no mess, no special equipment, just open, scoop, and enjoy. And in the time it takes to make a cup of tea, you've already given your body exactly what it needs to fight muscle loss while you rest. Greek yogurt may not look flashy, but when it comes to slow-release, muscle-protecting fuel, it's hard to beat. And once you make it a habit, it becomes one of those small, almost invisible decisions that quietly keeps you stronger for years to come. Up next, we're heading to the plant kingdom for a little green powerhouse that's not just protein-rich, but also a friend to your heart and bones. And the best part, you can eat it with your fingers straight from the bowl. If you've ever been to a Japanese restaurant, you might have been served a small bowl of steamed green pods as an appetizer. You pop them open, eat the beans inside, and move on without giving them much thought. Well, it turns out that humble little snack edamame is one of the most overlooked muscle-supporting foods out there. And for older adults, it's a quiet game changer. More protein than an egg, and easier to use. Here's the stat that surprises most people. 100 grams of boiled edamame give you around 18 grams of protein. That's already more than an egg, but here's where it gets interesting. It's complete protein, meaning it contains all 9 essential amino acids your body needs to maintain and build muscle. But it's not just the numbers. Edamame protein is plant-based and easy to digest, which means your body can actually use it more efficiently, especially important as digestion slows with age. You're not just eating protein, you're absorbing it. A gentle option for aging digestion. For some people over 60, heavy meats can feel like a brick in the stomach. Edamame is different. It's light, clean, and doesn't overwhelm your system. That means you can get the protein you need without the digestive strain that sometimes follows beef or pork. If you've ever skipped a protein-rich meal because you didn't feel up for something heavy, Edamame gives you the best of both worlds, muscle fuel that feels effortless. More than just muscle food, Edamame also brings something most meats don't: isoflavones. These natural compounds found in soy have been shown to help maintain bone density and support heart health. That matters because strong legs aren't just about muscle. Your bones are the framework that muscles hold up, and your heart is the engine that powers every step. When all three work together, muscles, bones, and heart, staying active becomes much easier. The inflammation factor. Here's something else to consider. Aging often comes with low-grade inflammation that you may not even notice at first. Sore joints, slower recovery, stiffness in the morning. These are all signs. Edamame's omega-3 fatty acids help fight that inflammation, making it easier for your muscles and joints to work together without constant friction. That's a big win if you're dealing with arthritis or even just the normal wear and tear of decades of use. Ridiculously easy to prepare. If you can boil water, you can make edamame. Seriously, buy it frozen, still in the pod, or already shelled. Boil or steam for 3-5 minutes. Sprinkle a pinch of sea salt. Done. You can eat it straight from the bowl. Toss it into salads, stir it into a vegetable stir-fry, or blend it into a protein-rich dip like edamame hummus. And because it's freezer-friendly, you can keep a bag on hand and make a serving whenever you need a quick protein boost. A great meat alternative if you're trying to cut back on red meat or reduce saturated fat. Edamame is a perfect swap. You still get the protein, but without the cholesterol or heavy load on your digestive system. And unlike many meat substitutes, it's a whole food. No long list of additives or strange ingredients you can't pronounce. The snack that works for you. Think about your go-to snacks right now. Crackers, chips, cookies. They might satisfy the craving, but they do nothing for your muscles. Swap 1 or 2 of those snacks a week for a small bowl of edamame, and you'll be surprised at how much better you feel. It's not about removing all your comfort foods. It's about upgrading some of them to foods that actually give back to your body. What to watch out for? Edamame is naturally healthy, but the way it's served can make a difference. Some store-bought flavored versions are coated in too much salt or oil. Stick to plain frozen edamame and season it yourself. That way you control exactly what goes in. A small habit with big payoff. Here's why edamame is worth adding to your weekly routine. It's quick, it's satisfying, and it supports multiple systems in your body at once. Muscle, bones, heart, digestion, they all benefit. And because it's plant-based, it also helps diversify your protein sources. Remember, variety matters. Eating the same protein every day isn't as effective as rotating through different sources your body can draw from. For something so small, edamame is remarkably powerful. And when you're working to keep your strength, balance, and independence past 60, that's exactly the kind of quiet support you want on your plate. Up next, we're heading into the pantry for one of the most convenient, ready-to-eat proteins out there. One that's nearly double the protein of eggs and comes with bonus nutrients that protect your heart and joints. Let's be honest, when most people think about canned tuna, they picture a quick lunch, maybe a tuna sandwich from decades ago, or something you only buy when the fridge is empty. But here's the truth. Canned tuna is one of the most underrated protein sources for older adults, and it's sitting quietly on grocery store shelves, waiting to make a comeback. protein power in every bite. Every 100 grams of canned tuna gives you about 25 grams of high-quality protein. That's nearly double the amount you'd get from eggs. And we're not talking about just any protein. This is complete protein with all the essential amino acids your muscles need to stay strong, recover, and rebuild. For someone over 60, that difference matters a lot. Remember, your body isn't as efficient at using protein as it used to be, so getting more per bite means you don't have to eat huge portions to meet your needs. Why it's perfect for seniors? There are 3 big reasons tuna works so well for older adults. Soft texture, no heavy chewing or tough cuts of meat. No cooking required, it's ready in seconds. Long shelf life, it's pantry friendly, so you can always have it on hand. That means even on days when you don't feel like cooking, you can still fuel your muscles without reaching for something processed or sugary. More than just protein, canned tuna isn't just a protein source. It's also loaded with omega-3 fatty acids. These healthy fats fight inflammation, which is huge for anyone dealing with stiff joints, arthritis, or slow recovery after physical activity. And here's something most people don't know. Omega-3s may actually help prevent age-related muscle loss. That means tuna is doing double duty, helping you build muscle while slowing down the process that tries to take it away. The heart and joint connection. Your muscles are only as useful as your joints allow them to be. If pain or stiffness keeps you from moving, your muscles don't get the chance to stay active. Omega-3s help reduce that joint discomfort, making it easier to keep walking, climbing stairs, and doing the things you love. Plus, omega-3s also support heart health, and your heart is the hardest working muscle you have. The mercury question. You've probably heard warnings about mercury in tuna, and it's a valid concern. The good news? You can choose light tuna, especially skipjack, which tends to have lower mercury levels and is considered safe for regular consumption in moderate amounts. A couple of servings a week is perfectly fine for most healthy adults. Easy, tasty ways to use it. One of the best things about canned tuna is how flexible it is. You can keep it classic with a tuna salad sandwich using whole grain bread for extra fiber, but there are plenty of other simple, healthy ways to enjoy it. On top of a salad, adds instant protein to leafy greens. With whole grain crackers, a quick, balanced snack. Mixed into pasta. Combine with olive oil, garlic, and veggies. Straight from the can, add a squeeze of lemon for brightness. You don't need fancy recipes, just open, mix, and eat. Why it's a no excuses protein? Here's the reality. Some days, you just don't have the energy or motivation to cook. That's where tuna shines. No prep, no cleanup, no excuses. And because it's so affordable, it's a protein source that works for any budget. Having 2 or 3 cans in your pantry means you always have a fallback plan that's actually good for you. Compare that to ordering takeout or skipping protein altogether, and you can see how big a difference it makes over time. The Pantry Muscle Saver. Canned tuna is more than just an emergency backup. It's a muscle maintenance plan in a can. It gives you protein that your body can actually use, healthy fats that protect your joints, and the kind of convenience that keeps you consistent. Remember, consistency is what builds strength after 60. It's not about one perfect meal. It's about the meals you can stick to day after day, week after week, and tuna makes that possible. For too long, tuna has been underestimated. But in the fight against muscle loss, it's one of your best allies, inexpensive, easy, and effective. And if you're ready for something just as muscle-friendly, but with a creamier, more comforting texture, our next food might just take you back in time and make you wonder why you ever stopped eating it. If you were around during the 1970s diet craze, you probably remember cottage cheese showing up on every healthy eating plate. Somewhere along the way, it slipped out of style, replaced by trendier snacks and flashy superfoods. But here's the truth. Cottage cheese never stopped being one of the most practical, affordable, and powerful muscle-supporting foods for people over 60, and it might just be the easiest addition you can make to your routine right now. Protein that works while you rest. Every 100 grams of low-fat cottage cheese packs about 25 grams of protein, nearly double what you'd get from the same amount of eggs. But here's what makes it really special. Just like Greek yogurt, cottage cheese is rich in casein protein, the slow-digesting kind that keeps feeding your muscles for hours. That means if you eat it in the evening, it's quietly working overnight to help your muscles recover, repair, and stay strong. Think of it as a night shift for your body. While you're sleeping, cottage cheese is making sure your muscles don't go hungry. Perfect for gentle eating. For let's face it, not everyone wants to chew through a big steak or dense chicken breast, especially later in the day. Cottage cheese solves that problem with its soft, creamy texture. It's easy on your teeth, easy on your digestion, and perfect for anyone who's lost a bit of appetite for heavier foods. That's important because one of the challenges of getting older isn't just choosing the right foods, it's making sure those foods are actually comfortable to eat every single day. Double duty, muscles and bones. Muscles and bones work together. One without the other is like having a strong car engine in a frame made of cardboard. Cottage cheese gives you both. It's high in calcium and phosphorus, two nutrients essential for bone density. This is especially important for women after menopause and for men with a family history of osteoporosis. The stronger your bones, the more confidently your muscles can do their job without the fear of fractures. A low-fat, high-impact option. A lot of people worry about dairy because of fat and cholesterol. The good news, low-fat or non-fat cottage cheese keeps all the muscle-building protein but dials back the fat, making it a heart-friendly choice for older adults. That means you can enjoy it regularly without it throwing off your weight or cholesterol goals. Incredibly versatile. One of the best things about cottage cheese is that it works with almost anything. Sweet snack, add berries and a drizzle of honey. Savory side, sprinkle with black pepper and chopped herbs. Breakfast boost, spread on whole grain toast with sliced tomato. Meal add-in, stir into scrambled eggs or pasta for extra creaminess and protein. And because it has a mild flavor, it can blend into dishes without overpowering them. Why it works for real life? When it comes to building strength after 60, the biggest challenge isn't finding a miracle food. It's finding a food you can eat often without getting tired of it. Cottage cheese is one of those rare options that's affordable, available everywhere, and requires zero cooking. Open the container, grab a spoon, and you've got a muscle-building snack in under 10 seconds. A nighttime ritual worth trying. Here's a small habit with a big payoff. Keep a tub of cottage cheese in your fridge and have a small serving before bed a few nights a week. It's not heavy, so it won't disrupt your sleep, but it will keep your muscles fueled until morning. Over time, you may notice you wake up feeling steadier, less stiff, and with more energy to start the day. What to look for? When you shop, check the label. Some cottage cheese brands load up on unnecessary sodium or artificial ingredients. Aim for a simple ingredient list with minimal salt and choose low-fat or non-fat versions if you're watching your cholesterol. the comeback it deserves. Cottage cheese may not be glamorous, but it's reliable. It quietly delivers protein, calcium, and steady muscle support, all in a form that's easy to eat, easy to store, and easy to fit into your routine. Sometimes, the old-fashioned foods are the ones that stand the test of time for a reason, and cottage cheese is living proof. If you haven't had it in years, give it another shot. Your muscles, your bones, and your energy will thank you. And if you pair it with the next food on our list, a plant-based option with a rich, hearty bite, you might just find your new favorite protein combo. When it comes to muscle health after 60, variety is your secret weapon. That's why our next two foods, one plant-based, one lean meat, make such a powerful 1-2 punch. Tempeh and turkey breast couldn't be more different in flavor and texture, but they share a mission. Give your muscles exactly what they need to stay strong, steady, and dependable. Tempeh, the fermented plant protein with a bonus. If you've never tried tempeh before, it might look a little unusual. Firm, beige, with a nutty aroma. But inside that humble appearance is something special. Tempeh is made from fermented soybeans, which means it's a complete protein. It contains all 9 essential amino acids your body can't make on its own. Every 100 grams brings about 20 grams of protein, easily beating eggs and holding its own against meat. But tempeh goes one step further. Because it's fermented, it's loaded with natural probiotics, the good bacteria that help keep your gut healthy. And here's the part most people don't realize. A healthy gut helps your body absorb more nutrients, including protein. So when you eat tempeh, you're not just getting protein, you're helping your body use it better. Why it's great for older adults. Gentle on digestion, yet filling. Lower in saturated fat than most animal proteins. Rich in minerals like magnesium and iron for muscle recovery and energy. For those who want to reduce meat without sacrificing muscle health, tempeh is a perfect replacement. Easy ways to eat tempeh. Tempeh soaks up flavors beautifully. Slice it thin, marinate in soy sauce, garlic, or herbs. Then pan fry until golden. Add it to stir fries, sandwiches, or salads, or cube it and roast for a hearty, protein-rich topping to grain bowls. Turkey breast, lean, clean, and loaded with leucine. On the other end of the spectrum, we have turkey breast, one of the leanest, highest quality animal proteins you can buy. Every 100 grams contains about 29 grams of protein with barely any fat or cholesterol. But the real muscle-building magic comes from leucine, an essential amino acid that acts like an ignition key for muscle growth. As we age, our muscles respond less strongly to protein. Leucine helps overcome that by triggering muscle protein synthesis more effectively. Why turkey works for seniors? Why high protein density without heaviness? Minimal fat for heart-friendly eating. Mild flavor that works with almost any seasoning. Easy to chew and digest when cooked gently. Cooking tips for tender turkey. The key with turkey breast is to avoid overcooking. Bake, roast, or poach it until just done, then slice thin to keep it juicy. Pre-cooked, low-sodium turkey breast from the deli can be a quick, no-fuss option. Just make sure it's minimally processed. Why this duo works so well together. On paper, tempeh and turkey are opposites. One's plant-based, the other's poultry. But together, they give you variety in protein sources, which improves nutrient balance. Both slow digesting and fast digesting proteins for all-day muscle support. Extra nutrients from each, probiotics from tempeh, leucine from turkey. This variety helps prevent protein fatigue where you get bored eating the same thing and end up skipping it altogether. A simple meal idea? Here's one easy way to put them together. Roast slices of turkey breast with olive oil, rosemary, and black pepper. Pan fry marinated tempeh until golden and crispy. Serve both with steamed greens and quinoa for a complete, balanced, protein-rich plate. It's satisfying, nutrient-packed, and gentle enough for everyday eating, making it practical. The best part, both tempeh and turkey breast store well. Tempeh keeps in the fridge for weeks and freezes beautifully. Cooked turkey breast lasts for several days, making it easy to prepare once and enjoy multiple times. Keeping either one or both on hand means you'll never have to scramble for a high-quality protein option. You'll have it ready whenever you need it. Tempeh and turkey prove that building muscle after 60 doesn't have to mean sticking to one right way of eating. You can mix plant-based and animal-based proteins, get the best of both worlds, and keep your meals interesting at the same time. And if you thought these two were powerful, wait until you see the tiny seeds in our next section. They may be small enough to fit in a teaspoon, but they're packed with more protein than you'd expect from something so delicate. Sometimes the biggest boost to your muscle strength don't come from a slab of meat or a big bowl of beans. They come from tiny, unassuming foods you can sprinkle, stir, or shave right onto your meals. Hemp seeds, spirulina, and Parmesan cheese may not take up much space in your kitchen, but they deliver massive nutrition in every bite. Hemp seeds, the soft, nutty muscle builder. Hemp seeds are one of nature's most efficient protein packages. Just 3 tablespoons, about 30 grams, give you nearly 10 grams of complete plant-based protein. That means in 100 grams, you're looking at around 33 grams of protein, more than double what eggs offer. And they're not just protein. Hemp seeds have a near-perfect balance of omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids, which help keep joints lubricated, reduce inflammation, and even support brain health. For anyone over 60, that's the trifecta. Better mobility, less stiffness, and sharper thinking. They're soft and mild in flavor, so you can blend them into smoothies, stir them into oatmeal, sprinkle them on salads, or even add them to homemade protein bars. Because they're so easy to digest, you actually absorb and use the protein without digestive discomfort. Spirulina, the green protein powerhouse. Spirulina doesn't look like much. It's a dark green powder made from blue-green algae, but it's one of the most protein-dense foods on Earth. 57 grams of protein per 100 grams. Yes, you read that right, more than 4 times the protein in eggs. And it's not just about quantity. Spirulina's protein is highly digestible and complete, so it gives your muscles exactly what they need to repair and grow. But spirulina also brings a long list of bonus nutrients: iron for oxygen delivery and energy, B vitamins for brain function and metabolism, antioxidants to fight inflammation and muscle soreness. The best way to use it? Start small. A teaspoon blended into a smoothie or stirred into yogurt is enough to get the benefits without overwhelming the flavor. Pair it with fruits like banana, pineapple, or berries to balance its earthy taste. Parmesan, the flavorful strength booster. Parmesan cheese might seem like just a garnish, but it's secretly a protein heavyweight. 38 grams of protein per 100 grams, nearly triple the protein of eggs. Because it's aged and hard, Parmesan is naturally lower in lactose, making it easier for many older adults to digest. And its intense flavor means you don't need much. A few shavings over steamed vegetables, scrambled eggs, or a warm soup instantly transforms the dish, while adding muscle-supporting protein and calcium for bone strength. It's also a great way to add protein without feeling like you're eating more. Perfect for days when your appetite is low but your muscles still need feeding. Why these three work so well together? Hemp seeds, spirulina, and Parmesan might seem like an odd trio, but here's why they're so powerful. They're add-ons, not main dishes. You can layer them into what you're already eating. They pack a lot into small portions, so they're perfect when your appetite isn't big. They cover both plant and animal protein sources, giving you a broader range of nutrients. Most importantly, they make it easy to get extra protein without adding a lot of bulk or prep time. How to use them in your day, or to use them in your day. For horam pitely 12 your weoskor and your bisin. Breakfast. Add a spoonful of hemp seeds and a dash of spirulina into a smoothie. Lunch. Sprinkle hemp seeds over a salad, then finish with a little Parmesan. Dinner. Stir spirulina into a vegetable soup before serving and top with Parmesan shavings. Snacks. Mix hemp seeds into yogurt or cottage cheese for an afternoon boost. A little goes a long way. One of the biggest challenges for seniors trying to increase protein is eating enough without feeling overly full. That's what makes these three so useful. A sprinkle here, a scoop there, and you've quietly added 5-10 grams of protein without even realizing it. Over time, those little boosts add up. And in the fight against muscle loss, consistency is everything. Tiny, versatile, and incredibly nutrient-dense, hemp seeds, spirulina, and Parmesan prove that sometimes the smallest foods can make the biggest difference. And yet, there's one final protein source that leaves them all behind in pure protein density. It's hearty, it's satisfying, and it's been hiding in plain sight for decades. If there's one food on this list that will completely change how you think about protein, it's this one. It's called Seitan, pronounced Seitan. And no, it has nothing to do with anything spooky. It's actually been a staple in Asian cooking for centuries, especially among Buddhist monks who didn't eat meat but still needed a hearty, satisfying protein source. For older adults looking to keep muscles strong, Seitan is as close to pure protein as you can get. The numbers are almost unbelievable. Let's cut straight to it. Seitan contains around 60 grams of protein per 100 grams. That's nearly 5 times more than eggs, more than steak, chicken, or even most protein powders, and it's all in a form that feels like real meat when you chew it. For anyone struggling to get enough protein without eating huge portions, Seitan is a game changer. You can eat a small serving and still hit your protein targets for the meal. Why it's perfect for older adults, low in fat, almost no saturated fat, so it's heart-friendly. Zero cholesterol makes it a great alternative to fatty meats. It's easy to flavor, absorbs seasonings like a sponge so it fits any recipe. Hearty texture, chewy and satisfying, which makes it feel like you're eating something substantial. This is especially helpful if you're trying to reduce animal products but don't want to feel like you're just eating salads and smoothies. What it's made from: Seitan is made from wheat gluten, the main protein in wheat, which is why it's so high in protein. The gluten is washed from wheat flour, leaving a stretchy dough-like mass that's then cooked and seasoned. Important note: if you have celiac disease or gluten sensitivity, Seitan is not for you. But if gluten doesn't bother you, it's one of the most concentrated, affordable protein sources you'll ever find. Cooking with Seitan. Cooking with Seitan. Think of Seitan as a blank canvas. On its own, It's mild in flavor, but that's what makes it so versatile. You can slice it into strips and stir-fry with veggies. Marinate it in soy sauce, garlic, and ginger. Then grill it. Shred it into sandwiches or tacos for a pulled meat texture. Cube it into stews or soups for a hearty boost. Because it absorbs flavor so well, you can season it to taste like almost anything, from smoky barbecue to savory herb roast. Why it's so filling? One of the reasons older adults sometimes struggle to get enough protein is that high-protein meals can feel too heavy. Seitan is different. Despite being dense in protein, it's light in fat, so it gives you that "I've eaten something substantial" feeling without leaving you sluggish afterward. Affordable and accessible. Another plus, Seitan is budget-friendly. You can buy it ready-made in many grocery stores or make it at home from just flour and water. Homemade versions can cost pennies per serving and let you control the seasoning from the start. The one caution, because it's almost pure protein, Seitan doesn't bring the extra vitamins and minerals you'd get from other protein sources. That's why it's best to treat it as part of a rotation, not your only protein. Pair it with vegetables, whole grains, or one of the other foods we've covered, and you'll have a nutrient-balanced meal that supports muscle, bones, and overall health. A great option for meatless days. Even if you're not vegetarian, adding Seitan to your weekly routine can help you reduce saturated fat intake while keeping your protein levels high. That's a win for your heart, your waistline, and your muscles. Why it deserves a place on your plate. On your plate. On your plate. When you're over 60, every gram of protein matters. And with Seitan, you're getting more of it per bite than almost any other food you can buy. That makes it one of the most efficient tools for fighting muscle loss, staying steady on your feet, and keeping your independence for as long as possible. Small, steady changes add up. And now that we've walked through all 10 powerhouse foods, from creamy Greek yogurt to chewy, satisfying Seitan, it's time to pull everything together into a simple, doable plan you can start today. So there you have it, 10 powerhouse protein foods that don't just match eggs, they blow them out of the water. From creamy Greek yogurt that works quietly while you sleep, to the humble Edamame pod that fuels your muscles and protects your bones. From pantry-friendly canned tuna to old-school cottage cheese. From the hearty bite of tempeh and lean, leucine-rich turkey breast to the tiny but mighty trio of hemp seeds, spirulina, and Parmesan. And finally, the pure protein champion, Seitan. Each one brings its own strengths. Each one fits easily into an ordinary day. And each one gives you more of what your muscles need after 60. High-quality protein your body can actually use. Why this matters more than ever? The truth is, muscle loss after 60 isn't just about getting weaker. It's about losing independence. It's about having to think twice before taking the stairs or hesitating when you stand up from a chair. It's about the confidence to walk across a room without worrying about stumbling. It's about keeping the strength to carry your groceries, garden in your backyard, or pick up your grandchild without fear you might drop them. And here's the thing, you have more control over that than you think. Yes, age changes our bodies, but with the right fuel, you can slow, stop, and even reverse muscle loss. Small changes, big results. You don't need to eat all 10 foods every day. That's not realistic. Instead, think about weaving 1 or 2 into your week to start. Swap your evening cookies for a bowl of Greek yogurt with berries. Keep a bag of frozen edamame in your freezer for a quick afternoon snack. Add canned tuna to your lunch twice a week. Bring cottage cheese back into your breakfast rotation. Try marinated tempeh in a stir-fry or roasted turkey breast with veggies. Sprinkle hemp seeds over your oatmeal, blend a teaspoon of spirulina into your smoothie, or shave Parmesan over roasted vegetables. And maybe, just maybe, give side a try on a meatless day. You don't have to overhaul everything. Just replace one low-protein habit with one of these muscle-friendly options. Consistency is the real secret. The real magic happens when you keep at it. Not for a week, not for a month, but as part of your lifestyle. That's how you rebuild muscle, improve balance, and feel steadier every single day. Because here's the truth. One high-protein meal won't change your life. But 100 small, consistent choices over the next few months, that's where the transformation happens. That's when walking feels lighter, stairs feel shorter, and you feel more like you again. It's about more than muscle. Remember, protein isn't just for biceps and quads. It supports your bones, fuels your immune system, and helps your brain function at its best. It even plays a role in keeping your heart healthy and your skin strong. That means the benefits of these foods show up everywhere, in your energy, your posture, your mobility, your mood, and even your confidence. Your body is still listening. Maybe you've been told that muscle loss is just part of aging and that there's nothing you can do, but science says otherwise. Your body still responds to good nutrition. Your muscles still rebuild when you give them the right tools, and your strength can improve at any age as long as you feed it well. Start today. So, here's my challenge to you. Before the day is over, pick one food from this list and work it into your next meal. Don't wait for Monday or for the perfect time to start. The sooner you begin, the sooner you stop the slow leak of strength. And every day you choose to feed your muscles well is another day you invest in your independence, mobility, and freedom. Your next step. If this video gave you ideas, try one of them today and tell me in the comments which one you're starting with. Your answer might inspire someone else to take that first step too. And if you want more simple, science-backed tips for staying strong, steady, and independent after 60, make sure you subscribe. We're in this together because your best years don't have to be behind you. Your muscles are your ticket to freedom. Feed them well, and they'll carry you further than you ever imagined.